Yes, Honorable Bukosa.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for your ruling and guidance. This bill initially, Honorable Speaker, was my bill, but it got interest from both the ministry and the government, and therefore this bill was converted to become a committee bill. And having converted it into a committee bill, this is for processes of allowing the government to make amendments to the bill so that it can be able to capture the Pharmacy and Poisons Board restructuring, making it into a level 3 facility to allow Kenya to attain maturity level 3 as per one of the requirements for the WHO. Now I want to know, being now a committee bill, do I have to recuse myself and have my vice chair or any other member?
You are recusing yourself from chairing to the extent that even if it's a committee bill, it has been largely associated with you as the promoter. And fairness requires that you participate in the winnowing process, but you let your vice chair the committee so that you don't get yourself in an uncomfortable situation of conflict of interest or defending a position like you would naturally do where you ought not to do. Is that clear? Order, Majority Leader, I want to make another communication. Honorable members, the next communication relates to the replacement of the Deputy Minority Whip and Jubilee Party leadership. Honorable members, you will recall that on Thursday, 8th June 2023, I issued a communication on update on the replacement of the Deputy Minority Whip. In that communication, I did guide the House that the correspondence received on the replacement of the Honorable Sabina Chege as the Deputy Minority Whip had been effectively suspended by a court order. The order in question was issued on Tuesday, 30th May 2023 in Kiambu High Court petition number E025 of 2023, Association of Friends of Youths and Women versus Speaker of the National Assembly and 3 others. I wish to inform the House of the developments in the cited case since my aforesaid communication. My office is now in receipt of a ruling delivered by the Kiambu High Court dismissing the matter. In the ruling, the court held as follows, and I quote, A, the notice of preliminary objection dated 12th June 2023 is partly found to have merit in view of the doctrine of exhaustion. B, the notice of motion application dated 30th May 2023 is found lacking in merit and is dismissed accordingly. C, the parties to move to the appropriate forum for further orders in regard to the petition and the application for joinder by the 4th and 5th respondents. Honorable members, I'm advised that the upshot of the ruling is that in dismissing the application made by the petitioners, the court redirected the petitioner to an appropriate forum for further orders. In effect, the petitioners have been referred back to the dispute resolution mechanisms provided for under the Political Parties Act 2011. The matter therefore remains live within the jurisdiction of the competent authorities, even as the Speaker is being urged to make a determination on the matter. Those urging the Speaker to make a determination in the matter ought to realize that the Speaker's guidance only facilitates the transaction of the business of this House. It is not in any way linked to the role bestowed upon other competent authorities by law. Honorable members, from the onset, the process of the replacement of the Deputy Minority Whip has been tied at the hip with a request by a section of the members of the Jubilee Party to be recognized as a parliamentary party. from my communication of 4th May 2023, upon the request for the de-whipping of the Deputy Minority Whip, I received a letter from the member for Nakuru Town West constituency, Honorable Samuel Arama MP, seeking the recognition of the Jubilee Party as a parliamentary party. Honorable members, the letter from the Honorable Arama added to the already existing confusion with regard to the affairs of the Jubilee Party. I had previously received 2 letters dated 21st September 2022 from the Honorable Jeremiah Kioni on the leadership of the Jubilee Party and its nominee to the Speaker's panel. At the time, Honorable Sabina Chege did also claim to communicate on behalf of the Jubilee Party as the Acting Secretary General. In my then guidance to the House, I noted the need to leave determination of political party disputes to competent authorities outside Parliament as envisaged by the law. On the issue of whether the Jubilee Party is a parliamentary party within the meaning of Standing Order 20A, the House will recall that I did guide the party. Having 28 members clearly surpassed the threshold of 18 members required by the standing orders. I was, however, hesitant to wade into the recognition of the party on account of the lingering issue of the persons authorized to communicate with the Speaker with respect to the Jubilee Party. Unfortunately, honorable members, the confusion relating to the Jubilee Party did not abate. You will recall that in the communication of 8th June 2023, I noted receipt of a further flurry of communication said to be made on behalf of the Jubilee Party. I received further letters dated 4th May 2023, terminating the membership of the Honorable Sabina Chege and the Honorable Sabina Chege MP in the Jubilee Party. Members at the bar, take your seats. Take the nearest seats. Honorable members, additionally, signed off by a Mr. Nelson Zuya as the national chairperson of the party. In the letter, Mr. Zuya urged that the Speaker refrain from effecting changes to House leadership and committee membership pending the determination of an alleged dispute between the Jubilee Party and the Azimio coalition. Honorable members, it is against this backdrop and a lack of clarification on the affairs of the Jubilee Party at the time that I again expressed my hesitation to recognize the party as a parliamentary party. Indeed, as members will further recall, I granted the minority party and the Jubilee Party a period of 30 days to allow them to put their affairs in order. Whereas it would seem that the minority party has concluded the matter of replacing its whip, the same cannot be said with regard to the affairs of the Jubilee Party and its members in the House. As at today, the question of who constitutes the bona fide leadership of the party, especially in the House, remains unclear. Honorable members, on the 13th of June 2023, barely a week after my last communication on this matter, the Honorable Samuel Arama again wrote on behalf of the members of the Jubilee Party, conveying names and signatures of 21 out of 28 members, expressing their support of the recognition of the party as a parliamentary party. In the past week, I have received 2 conflicting letters on the matter of the Deputy Minority Whip from the Jubilee Party. A rambling letter dated 20th October 2023 from the Honorable Jeremiah Kioni said to support the replacement of the Deputy Minority Whip is littered with insults and other unpalatable statements unworthy of my mention. The message in the letter is lost in its tone, which is obviously beneath the standard expected of a person who has sat in this honorable House. On 24th October 2023, I received yet another Deputy Secretary General. In the letter, the Honorable Kutunyi claims that the Honorable Jeremiah Kioni was expelled by the party and ought not communicate on its behalf. The letter contests the replacement of the Deputy Minority Whip on various grounds and alludes to aggrieved members of the Jubilee Party not having been afforded access to internal dispute resolution mechanisms to address their grievances. It concludes by reiterating the claim for the recognition of the Jubilee Party as a parliamentary party in the National Assembly. Honorable members, while it is not the duty of the Speaker to organize how parties are run, you will agree with me that the state of affairs in the Jubilee Party calls for an intervention, especially for purposes of the smooth conduct of parliamentary business. The myriad letters emanating from outside Parliament do not paint a clear picture as to the current leadership of the party. The pending disputes internally and before the other competent authorities obscure the matter even further. Honorable members, the confusion of the Jubilee Party has permeated the walls of this House and affected the transaction of parliamentary business. We now find ourselves in a situation where a small faction of the members of the party seems to be aligned with the minority party, while 21 out of the 28 members of the party have expressed their unwillingness to be associated with the minority party. And this has been done in writing. A definite question arises as to which member's interest the Speaker should prioritize over the other, or whether the Speaker should just accept the reality of the existence of these two factions and the parity of their interests. From the myriad of correspondence from the various claimants in the leadership of the Jubilee Party, including the Honorable Kioni, the Honorable Sabina Chege, the Honorable Samuel Arama, the Honorable Joshua Kutuny, and Mr. Nelson Zuya, the cardinal message is the desire by the Jubilee Party to be recognized as a parliamentary party. It is for this reason, inter alia, that I previously directed the minority party as mere coalition and the Jubilee Party to sort out their issues within a period of 30 days, and to date, honorable members, the issue highlighted have not been sorted out. Neither have I received any communication from the leadership of the minority party. Honorable members, in the initial letter from the Honorable Arama seeking the recognition of the Jubilee Party as a parliamentary party, the Honorable Member for Nakuru Town West rightly observed that Article 36 of the Constitution on freedom of association and Article 38 of the Constitution on political rights confer upon each member of the House the right to determine which entities they wish to be associated with and the right to make political choices. It therefore logically follows that the current uncertainty with regard to the affairs of the Jubilee Party does not abode well for the continuity of the business of the House and the full participation of the members of the party in the House. Honorable members, Standing Order 20A governs the manner of recognizing parliamentary parties and designating party leaders and whips in the National Assembly. From my reading of the Standing Order, it allows a party or a coalition of parties that is not the minority or majority party to designate their leader, whip, and deputy whip upon recognition as a parliamentary party. Whereas the Standing Order notes that the whips of such party are appointed for purposes of the transaction of the business of the House, it is strikingly silent on the purpose to be served by having such a leader in the House. At the moment, I'm of the considered view that apart from creating unnecessary confusion, allowing the existence of a leader other than the leader of the majority party or the leader of the minority party would be an affront to the constitutional underpinning and recognition of the majority party and the minority party. Honorable members who served in this House before the promulgation of the current constitution and who are well versed with the parliamentary traditions bear testament to the fact that a party that is not the majority or minority party in a presidential system, or which is not in government or the official opposition in a parliamentary system, is normally afforded minimal facilitation by the House. At most, such a party is only entitled to a whip. Honorable members, before making my determination on this matter, I would like to draw the attention of the House to a press statement that was recently issued by the minority leader in company of his deputy on this subject. I shall not reproduce the contents of the statement made by the member for Ugunja, issued after the sitting of the House on Thursday last week because of their unpalatable nature. I will only note that it is unfortunate and highly regrettable that the leader of the minority party chose to publicly cast aspersions on valid parliamentary processes, even after he and his deputy had separately visited my chambers and held a very cordial discussion with me on this pertinent matter. Honorable members, the distinguished members ought to have known that unlike the previous court orders in this matter, which would be validated through the e-filing system, the order for dismissal was manually extracted and served on the Speaker by the leader of the minority party. From our own records, there also existed doubt on whether the House was represented by counsel at the time the ruling was delivered. The leader of the minority party may have been unaware that I was only formally briefed on the developments of this matter on Thursday, 19th October 2023, upon verification of the status of the matter. It is incumbent upon me as your Speaker to ensure that any adverse actions I take are valid, justified, and lawful, and in this respect I am enjoined to satisfy myself with regard to the authenticity of any information that I convey to this House. Honorable members, I expect the leadership of the House to conduct themselves with decorum and respect for the high office that they have been entrusted with. In this regard, the conduct and statements attributed to the leader of the minority party, including the wild aspersions cast on the person of the Speaker, leave a lot to be desired and are a stain on the privilege and prestige of the institution of Parliament. The Speaker takes a very dim view of this kind of unproductive and unhelpful conduct. Honorable members, going back to the matter at hand, you will recall that my predecessor, Speaker Kenneth Marende, was faced with a similar situation in April 2009 during the 10th Parliament. At the time, President Kibaki had appointed his vice president as the leader of government business in this House, which prompted the then Prime Minister to write a letter to the Speaker appointing himself to the same position. This resulted in an impasse that threatened to paralyze parliamentary business. In his ruling, honorable members, Speaker Marende broke the deadlock by adopting an interim measure that resulted in the chair of the House Business Committee being occupied by the Speaker. Additionally, the Speaker tasked the joint government chief whips to run the affairs of the government in the House and threw the ball back to the President and the then Prime Minister to solve the impasse. Honorable members, the Speaker will not shy away from the reality that two factions of the Jubilee Party are tearing each other apart and are unfairly dragging the Speaker into their wars of supremacy. However, to the extent that both factions collectively and separately have a stake in the conduct of parliamentary business, I'm inclined to exercise the powers conferred upon me by Standing Order Number 1 to facilitate the continuity of the business of the House until such a time as the competent authorities make a final determination with regard to the disputes relating to the affairs of the Jubilee Party. In summary, honorable members, I guide the House as follows: that there currently exists no bar against the decision made by the minority party to replace its deputy whip. Standing Order 20A5 requires the Speaker to convey a decision to replace a whip to the House. In this regard, the Honorable Mark Mwenje MP forthwith replaces Sabina Chege MP as the deputy whip of the minority party. That to give effect the provisions of Article 36 of the Constitution on Freedom of Association and Article 38 of the Constitution on Political Rights, which confer upon each member of the House the right to determine which entities they wish to be associated with and right to make political choices. Order. The Jubilee Party is hereby recognized as a parliamentary party within the meaning of Standing Order 20A. This recognition does not in any way elevate it to or affect the status given to the majority party and the minority party by the Constitution and the standing orders. that consequently, the Honorable Sabina Chege, by virtue of the written support of 21 members out of 28 members of the Jubilee Party in the House, in the letter dated 13th June 2023, and on account of her having been the last officially recognized member of the Jubilee Party, forming part of the leadership, is allowed to perform in the interim the role of the whip of that party in the House. That the foregoing guidance is issued in the interim purely for purposes of facilitating the continuation of the business of the House until such time as the Speaker will be properly seized of the final determination of the matters relating to the Jubilee Party by the competent authorities. The House is accordingly guided. Next order.
Order number 8, the National Youth Council Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2023, second reading. Question to be put.
Order. Order. Honorable Wandai. Order. Order, honorable members. The House is still in session. Order. Order, honorable members. Take your seats. Or those who want to recess from the House, do so quietly. Honorable Wandai, I'll give you
The Honorable Speaker, first and foremost, I wish to thank you for finally effecting the communication from my office regarding the change in the holder of the office of the Deputy Minority Whip. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I want to reserve my comments on the issue of the status of the Jubilee Party for now. But thirdly, Mr. Speaker, in view of your ruling or communication, I want to submit that since I did my first letter to you on the 6th of April, 2023, communicating the removal of the Honorable Sabina Chege, which has now been affirmed by the courts and by the Speaker, that the Speaker finds that for the time between the period between the 6th of April...
Honorable members, I can barely hear what the... Honorable Mwenje, I know it's now a time for your exuberance and excitement, but allow your leader to address the chair.
There's even really no need for excitement. But let me say this, that my submission is that for the period between the 6th of April, 2023, when I first wrote to your office concerning the changes, and today, the 25th of October, our position as a coalition is that the Honorable Sabina Chege has been holding that office illegally. And therefore, whatever benefits, let me complete. Because my second leg, the second limb, the second limb of this application is that the Honorable Mark Mwenje has, in the opinion of the coalition, been working since the 30th of May, 2023. And therefore, the Honorable Mark Mwenje deserves to be compensated appropriately for the work he has been doing since that time, to date, and facilitated. That is my point, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Order, honorable members. Yes, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, first allow me to thank you. And as they said, when Speaker Marende in 2009 made his Solomonic ruling on the issue of the leader of government business, yours today, Honorable Speaker, also ranks among us those rulings that are informed by Solomonic wisdom. And Honorable Speaker, it also ranks among rulings that would have a win-win situation for those in the minority party and for those who serve under the Jubilee Party. Honorable Speaker, I also did note your concern, and indeed I had also noted the same concern, Honorable Speaker, when last week I saw senior leaders of this House, like the leader of minority and his deputy, in a way attempt to disparage the office of the Speaker, and I found it to be completely out of order, and I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the guidance that you have afforded the leader of minority and his deputy not to engage in matters that would look to be disparaging the office of the Speaker or the conduct of the person of the Speaker outside the chamber without even, and even in the chamber without a substantive motion, Honorable Speaker. Yes. To Honorable Speaker, I will also not want to comment on the conduct of one Jeremiah Kioni and the letter that you have said had, I can't remember the words you used, not unprintable.
And palatable.
The rambling letter, Honorable Speaker. Yes. I will not want to also restrain myself from commenting on the rambling letter by the Honorable Jeremiah Kioni, who, as you have noted, is a former member of this House and ought to address the office of the Speaker, and indeed any member of this House, with the respect that they deserve, including the leader of minority. Honorable Speaker, to also congratulate the Honorable Mwenje on his accession to the office of Deputy Whip of the Azimio One Kenya Coalition. As I equally congratulate the Honorable Sabina Chege on her ascension to the office of Whip. And Honorable Speaker, you may note with your Solomonic wisdom, the Honorable Sabina Chege has now been elevated from a Deputy Whip to a substantive Whip. She now ranks the same with Whip Silvana Sosoro and Whip Junet Mohammed. The Honorable Mwenje now ranks as a Deputy Whip from being an ordinary member of Jubilee. But Honorable Speaker, I've heard what the Honorable Leader of Minority is asking. At what point do these changes take place? Honorable Speaker, it is my humble submission that the changes take effect today upon communication by the Speaker to the House, not the time when the Azimio One Kenya, that Jubilee as a party is now recognized as a parliamentary political party. 21 members within that party subscribe to the Jubilee faction that supports, and I hear the Honorable Kainan claim they are now 27. I do not know, because I'm a former member of Jubilee. I'm not a member of Jubilee now. So if there are 21 or 27 members of Jubilee who subscribe to the leadership of Sabina Chege and one faction, and who are disassociating themselves from Azimio One Kenya Coalition, the question that lingers in my mind, Honorable Speaker, can then the Honorable Mark Mwenje, as a member of the same Jubilee party, be a whip in Azimio One Kenya Coalition if Jubilee pretends to have left the Azimio One Kenya Coalition? Would that, Honorable Speaker, be putting the Honorable member for Embakasi West in a very precarious situation, Honorable Speaker, because he may be construed to have defected from Jubilee political party to either ODM or Wiper that are members of the Azimio One Kenya Coalition. Honorable Speaker, you know from your ruling on the issue, on the question of majority and minority leadership in this House, the status of Azimio One Kenya Coalition party, and indeed, Honorable Speaker, the act that brought to life Azimio One Kenya Coalition as a political party is a matter that is still contentious to date. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I would want to advise my good brother and friend, Honorable Mwenje, to celebrate with some caution, because he might be construed to have defected from Jubilee. And I am not sure he wants to get into a by-election. So celebrate with some caution, Honorable Speaker, and I thank you for your ruling.
Honorable members, I don't think I want to escalate this beyond where it is, because it amounts to debating the Speaker's ruling. I want us to proceed as follows. Mark Mwenje is the Deputy Whip of the Azimio Coalition with effect from today, not any other time. If there are any privileges and trappings of that office, they will land on him from today, not any other time. As to the issues raised by the Honorable Majority Leader and the Minority Leader, I'll not delve into those. The chips will lie where they fell, and we will proceed in the manner I've directed, and it is so ordered. Next order. Next order.
Order number 8, the National Youth Council Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2023, second reading, question to be put.
Order, honorable members, order. Order, take your seats, honorable members. The House has not risen. Take your seats. Order, honorable Gikaria. Order. Honorable members will now put the question at order number 8, which is that the National Youth Council Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2023 be now read a second time. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the National Youth Council Act.
Next order.
Order number 9, the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2022, second reading, question to be put.
Order, honorable members. Order. Order, honorable members, take your seats. Commissioner Macau, take your seat. Honorable members, I'll now put the question at order number 9, which is at the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2022, be now read a second time. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Land Act 2012.
Next.
Order number 10, motion, nominee to one National Government Constituency Development Fund Committee.
Where is the chairman, Select Committee on the National Government Constituencies Development Fund? Musa Sirma. Majority Leader. Oh, it is your motion, Musa Sirma. Deputy. Yes.
Development Fund Act 2015 and paragraph 5, 2 and 10 of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Regulations 2016 approves the nominee listed here under for appointment to the National Government Constituency Development Fund for the following constituency. Tiati constituency. Name Daniel Rukuno Kanyakera, male adult representative, appointment pursuant to section 43(2)(b). Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, I want to move that this House do approve this name because the position was created by the death of the in that constituency. Mr. Speaker, I beg to ask Honorable Pukos
amendment we have on the insurance bill. And the purpose of this is we are deleting the word shareholder from that to mean to leave now the bill to read director, principal officer, or management staff of an insurer. So this is where we are putting personal responsibility on senior management and directors of insurance companies in case there is a fraud or mismanagement of the insurance. So by including shareholder, it meant that anybody who could be an investor in that particular company then would be liable. But that's why now this amendment is deleting the word shareholder to leave only director, principal officer, or management staff of an insurer as the people that will be held responsible if there is a misconduct in that particular company. With that, I beg to move on, Abu Chair.
I propose the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the mover. Yes, Honorable Makali.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable Chairperson, I want to support that amendment. I think what is coming out, and this also did come out during the second reading, is the fact that we are enhancing accountability matters when it comes to issues of insurance companies. So I support.
Yes, Leader. You want to speak on this? Yes. Proceed. Yes, the amendment.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, and I rise to support this amendment. Honorable Chair, as I said during the second reading, if you are to include a shareholder, it would mean that you would be holding even very innocent shareholders to account for things that they have no control of. Because I could even be owning a single share or 2 or 10 shares in an insurance company, but the management and directors are the ones who are in charge of the day-to-day running of that company. And therefore, excluding the word shareholder is very progressive, and I support.
Very well. There being no any other interest, I now put the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the mover. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 3 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many...
Title.
I now propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. I now put the question that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. So basically, we are done with the bill. It was a short bill, and therefore call upon the mover. Mover to give us, mover to move reporting. Leader of majority.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Insurance Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 18 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments.
Honorable members, I put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Insurance Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 18 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
I'm very sorry, members, to err is human. Yeah, Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Insurance Amendment Bill, National Bill number 18 of 2023, and approved the same with amendments.
Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request Honorable Melly to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Melly.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to second. And Honorable Speaker, I just want to say that insurance is a very, very important aspect of the national economy. When we have workable and functional insurance companies, it gives assurance to financial institutions, to the money market, so that they function well. Mr. Speaker, you realize that a country without a strong insurance cover, even in the medical field, even in the financials, even in the commercial sector, will actually have a shaky financial system. So I want to thank the chair for actually bringing some of these amendments that entrenches, first of all, ethics, it entrenches integrity, it entrenches financial performance, and also it ensures that the institutions functions well. If they don't function well, Mr. Speaker, you will realize that even the insuring entities will lose, especially to fraudsters. It would lose to individuals who are actually in the money launderers and the rest. So this bill is very important, and I urge the members that we move it and we support it, and we actually enhance it. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Did you second? Give him the mic.
I had seconded, Mr. Speaker. That's before even I talked, I had seconded.
Yeah, thank you. Honorable members, I propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Do we have any member seeking to speak to this? Any member seeking to say something to this? Yes.
Say something.
Honorable Makali Mulu.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to thank the committee for this important amendment to the Insurance Act, because, Honorable Speaker, we all agree that insurance is very important in this country. It's one of the key players in our economy, provides a lot of employment to our young people, and it's a major contributor to the GDP. So when we want to push for serious accountability in this sector, as the chair said, Honorable Speaker, this is the right direction. And I think as a House, we are doing the right thing for this country. We are doing the right thing for this sector. And we are doing the right thing for those Kenyans who are insured. I did indicate that when this sector is collecting money from the Kenyans, they are very excited. They are put on very smiling faces. But when it comes to paying the claims, they start dodging Kenyans. So what we have done, Honorable Speaker, is to make sure that just as just as much as they are happy when collecting the money, they should be as much happy when they are paying the claims. So I want to support and really thank the House for this good amendment. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, there are not Honorable Pukosi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for allowing me to contribute. I want on the onset to say I support the amendments that have been done by the committee and the committee of the whole House, having accepted those amendments. Honorable Speaker, just like the member for Kitui Central has put it, the insurance companies are always very encouraging. You'll find that they are always approaching you. They'll even call you 10 times just to sell the product which they have. But when it comes to paying those products, it becomes a very difficult process. Honorable Speaker, we've also seen even insurance companies that have collapsed in this country and collapsed with the people's investments. And my neighbor here is telling me about Kenya Re, which many of us bought shares in it. And unfortunately, those shares were not able to reap the benefits accordingly. So these are the challenges that we face. And I think this amendment, Honorable Speaker, is good amendments that will be able to address some of those issues and make sure that when you benefits. With those few remarks, I want to support.
Thank you, Dr. Pukose. The Honorable Beatrice Elachi, last. And honorable members,
thank you, Mr.
The next order is a very serious order which requires the participation of all. So I would urge members to stay within the chambers. Honorable Beatrice Elachi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also want to support this amendment and to thank the Finance Committee and especially the chair. I think he has been very consistent in every agenda that he brings in this House. But more importantly, that to say we have those Kenyans who are watching, and today I think wherever they are praying that now their monies that were taken by lawyers, that the clients have been paid, but themselves have never been paid, can now go and claim their resources. Mr. Speaker, this is a sector that many Kenyans have felt it, especially when you have gone through an accident or when you're sick, or even when you have found that all your things have been burnt down and now you are claiming. You go through a tall order to find your claims being paid. So with those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I really want to thank the House and to tell Kenyans this is one bill that will save so many Kenyans who have gone through hell in their life because of their insurance money. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Mover.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move that the Insurance Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 18 of 2023, be now read a third time. I also request the Honorable Mwalimu of Kibra to second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second.
Honorable members, I propose the question, which is that the Insurance Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 18 of 2023, be now read a third time. The mood of the House that I put the question? Yes. Honorable members, I've confirmed that the House is properly constituted for purposes of making a decision. Essentially, it is that we have necessary quorum. I therefore put the question, which is that the Insurance Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 18 of 2023, be now read a third time. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Insurance Act.
Next order.
Order number 12, the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill, National Assembly Bill number 61 of 2022, second reading, resumption of debate.
The Honorable Beatrice Elachi, you had some surplus time. Do proceed and make your contributions. It was 6 minutes. Just proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I remember when we moved this bill, the Honorable Millie, who is out of the country, and I want to thank her wherever she is, for thinking it and making this happen for many women, and also our fathers and our male colleagues who have gone through the challenges that this assisted reproductive technologies bill is talking about. Mr. Speaker, you remember I said that many women have gone through a lot of challenges, paying a lot of money to ensure they go through fertility. And Mr. Speaker, one of the things that we are challenged in the country is that you don't have a place where you can say there are regulations to deal with any of those who are practicing in this sector. And so when we talk about the bill, Mr. Speaker, and I just want to go through very fast, that the bill will enable us to ensure that there's regulations to take care of the use of embryo.
Who has disappeared with the mic of Beatrice Elachi?
Consents agreed that indeed will assist, and then in the end of the day, you find that the person, after giving birth, there's that bond. And so you find there's a lot of conflict. And so this bill will cure that. Mr. Speaker, the other thing is that the bill provides for matters regulating rights of parents, the donors, children, including use of sperm after the death of the man, because you find sometimes you indeed accept, but if you pass on, we don't have a regulation that says now your sperm can be used according to how you had agreed before. So this is what this bill is coming to cure. And Mr. Speaker, more importantly, now to have licenses, which we don't have. Mr. Speaker, when you look at today, and just the other day, I remember we had a very huge crisis. KEMSA was just about to agree to bring generic contraceptives in this country. If the president did not stand firm, that is what was going to happen. And our brothers who are in the pharmaceutical companies had really pushed the agenda. So what we are saying in this country,